Oh, Canon. Guys, I went on a business trip to Arkansas last week, and while I was there, Canon decided to announce the new EOS R5. I typically don't get excited about a new camera, as you saw in my last video talking about the X-T4, but Canon is doing some things with this new body that I'm absolutely excited about. I'm going to talk about those here in a second, compare them to the EOS R. And as a quick side note, today's video is actually being color graded by my friend Jordy over at Wet Sail Media. Check out his page at wetsailmedia.com. Him and his wife are excellent commercial videographers here in Tennessee. They're now picking up weddings as well. So thank you today, Jordy, for the color grade. He's using DaVinci Resolve, which I used to love. Anyways, back to the video. All right, so we're back. And if you're new to the channel, my name's Garrett. I shoot reviews on cameras, camera gear, and I also do some tutorials as well. But today I really want to talk about this R5 and why I actually am excited about it. Even though if you saw my last video talking about the X-T4, I wasn't too googly-eyed about that camera. And there's a couple of reasons for that. But I want to compare the specs of the R5 to the specs of my R that I got back in December. As you guys know, I've been loving the camera, but I do think this R5 is a game changer, especially for Canon. Whenever I got the R back in December, I really wasn't worried about the new body that was going to be released this year. I knew it was coming, but I knew in typical Canon fashion it was probably going to be something lackluster on paper that would still deliver results, but nothing too exciting. But there are some things that this camera are advertising that are absolutely phenomenal in my eyes for Canon especially. Got my handy dandy notepad right here to talk about the specs, starting with the 8K sensor. Now going back to my Fuji video, most of you guys are going to call me a hypocrite because I said that I was not excited for a 6K sensor. But I am excited for the 8K sensor coming in the R5. Why? Because Canon does not do stuff like that. Also, with the 4K sensor in the R, we have a crop when we're shooting in 4K. And I know that's not a huge deal in all situations, but if I have a full frame camera, I don't want a crop when I'm shooting 4K. If I'm gonna do that, I'll just shoot 4K on my X-T3 because it looks great as is. No need to worry about that. I bought a full frame camera so that I could have a full frame. So hopefully the R5 will not have a crop when shooting in 4K. Not really worried about the 8K, what they do with that. I think that's cool, that's fine and dandy, but as long as we have no 4K crop, I'm happy with that. Secondly, the R5 is supposed to have in-body stabilization. Now, once again, going back to the X-T4 video, I said I wasn't excited about it, but that's because Fuji has done it before. And also, if you remember on the R, it does have the digital stabilization, but there's the crop yet again. It's not a huge crop unless you're using the second level of stabilization, but it's still enough to just, it frustrates you a little bit because like I said, you pay for a full frame camera, you want to be able to use the full frame. And those are really the only two things that have me excited about the R5. It's gonna have 2 card slots, which, you know, I don't care either way. I've had cameras that only have 1. My X-T3 has 2 slots. That really doesn't excite me. It's a cool thing if you've got it. If you don't, oh well. But once again, I don't want the 4K crop. I don't want a crop when using IBIS. I want Canon to knock this camera out of the park, and I think they will. I think they're finally starting to listen, but those are just some things that I wanted to chat about. Do I think that I should have waited for the R5? I guess we'll see. I'm hoping to get my hands on it pretty soon once it comes out, but I am loving the R at the end of the day. I know I gripe about the crop, and I know that I gripe about not having IBIS because of the digital stabilization, but at the end of the day, I do like the R. I do hope that Canon knocks it out of the park with the R5 though. I think it will change the game, especially for mirrorless cameras that are designed for photo and video. I think we're gonna have a cinema quality camera and something that's handheld and hopefully affordable for a lot of people. And with that being said, guys, I wanna know your thoughts in the comments down below about the R5. Are you excited about it? Do you plan on picking one up? Do you hate Canon? Whatever it is, let me know down there below. And as always, if you like my content and want to see more like it, please like this video, subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week.